7 Colossus, and he doesn't have, enough Vikings, then they're going to deal real damage to the units on the ground. Or he kind of overproduces Vikings, in which case his ground army is weak anyways, and I storm things and they die quickly. Oh, yeah. Unless I get my High Templar EMP, that's a bad choice. Terrible life decision. But it might have happened. I don't know. I just felt a lot more comfortable in that matchup than I have in quite a while. I think part of it too is that I used to be trying to micro every single unit, kind of, like, if that makes sense. All my Zealots to one hotkey, and then I think I stuck like Stalkers, Immortals, and Colossus on another hotkey, because Stalkers are the only one with an active ability, and I feel like they can all move around, and then I can control Blink, and then I was trying to do like Sentries on another key, and High Templar on another key, and it's just, there's a lot of micro. I'm way more comfortable just taking an army and A-moving, and that maybe is a bit of a take-home lesson that, if I don't need to make it more complicated, then just don't. Just let it be. Really move more as a group, too. I mean, that's always an issue when you get somewhere and you realize, oh, whoops, I left my Zealots behind at base. Oh, crap. Do we need them? Yeah, and then, oh, he's engaging me. I don't have Zealots. Crap. Crap, guys. Oh, poo. And also the fact that I can just build more Colossi once a battle's over. That's a pretty revolutionary thing. I tend to be like, okay, the battle's over, I'm going to next as fast as I can. Like, just Zealots, go, 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 go. And it's just not as effective. I'd be way better off, I think, just making some Colossi. Even if it's just like 3 or 4. I can just kind of pump them out over a space of like maybe 2 minutes. It just feels more comfortable. Just how I did. Especially I got that Zealot counterattack off. That was well played in my opinion, because he couldn't take it. He didn't have the numbers. I clearly just had a better economy than he did, I think, in the long run, and that is why, yeah, the graphs basically speak for themselves. Resources, structures, units way closer. Way closer. Average unspent resources, 3,000. I would berate myself for that, but then I was nearly maxed near the end, and I was saving a couple of supply. Just, actually, that 20 supply. Just why? Because if it drops me, like, heavily, then I can warp in a few Zealots here, and I can also Warp Prism over and launch my own little counterattack. 5 Zealots here, 5 Zealots there. Just a nice little distractor. Buys me time. Buys me time to get things done. 77 workers created. Alright. Resource collection rate, yeah, I was thoroughly above him. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that is today's ladder session where we learned nothing about, well, okay, I guess that actually, there was a little bit of a tech thing in there. Didn't really talk about it, but the making of the Colossus, I feel like commits Terran to a tech path. It's not necessarily bad, but that's at least predictable and slightly manipulatable. Particularly, I like the idea of getting him to overcommit in the Ghost department, and then maybe going way more Twilight Council focused and High Templar Archon, Zealot, Fides, a couple of Stalkers mixed in there, chew through what he has, use the fact that his Vikings are not part of his ground army really to exploit, I guess, that a bit, take on a weaker ground army, get a good trade in there, and then build some more Colossus when he has fewer Vikings and get another good trade in there. And I think that's what I'm trying to establish. I think so. Out of everything that I'm trying to learn here, that I'm trying to, I guess, express here with these videos, it's the idea of committing to an army choice, committing to a tech choice that is good, that'll get you places, that you can do something with, have an idea, work it, but then also to track out, to be able to pull out of that and go somewhere else and do something new, and you know what I mean, like more of a gateway focus, or to be able to just kind of on a dime pull that switch so that you can trade evenly maybe, or trade well hopefully if you engage well. And then just also, be able to come out strongly off the heels of that engagement and get a good trade in. And then off the heels of that good trade, get another good trade in. Just kind of shaping the way that the game goes using your unit composition is really, and it's a pretty, I feel like, fundamental, basic idea that, everyone will tell you, yeah, and go, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And then in-game, it's really hard to say, well, when do I quit? For example, if you're stomping all over him with Colossi and he's not making Vikings, obviously you don't want to, then go into High Templar, because it's not going to do you any favors. You're not going to trade evenly. So it's the idea of getting a read on your opponent, figuring out what he's going to do. Probably more observers would have been good, I think. If there was one bigger thing that I could have changed, it would have been my map presence, so either drops or observers, just to get some information in the space. For example, is he throwing down another starport? Is he throwing maybe a reactor on a starport? Am I getting him to produce more Vikings? You know what I mean? But just being aware of the response that you're eliciting from him. And another thing that would be helpful, isn't the point of this video, something that would be helpful, though good to learn, for me personally, is understanding what Terran is capable of. I think of all the races, Terran's the one that I'm least sure about. If you watched me stream earlier today, played a game against the Terran who 7 racks all into me with 15 SCVs in an orbital command. So that's with 15 SCVs plus mules, 7 racks, and he's just pumping out Marines the whole time. And I was just I was shocked. I can't do that as Protoss. You can't just 7 barrel in someone. Just make something gay so I go straight Zealot. You can't do that. That's not a feasible thing. But I guess with Terran and Marines, 7 racks with no attachments is a feasible thing. And I don't know these things really. I don't understand Terran's production capabilities. And for example, when Terran starts teching to Ghost, how much else are they able to do? Can Terran do Ghost Viking comfortably? Does that chew up all their gas? I mean, if they're going Ghost Viking, are they limited on their upgrade front? Can I use that to my advantage? These are things that I don't know that I would like to gain a better knowledge of. And actually, I'm not really sure how to do that without going in and trying to learn how to play Terran, which is sticky. I've tried to learn to play Terran. It hasn't ended well for me in the past, so I'm hesitant to go out and do that again, but that'd be something I'd like to learn. And that way, because I feel like that reinforces, I guess, your knowledge that you're making now of, well, if I'm making this unit, what are his likely responses? What options do I give him? You know what I mean? And then based on his response, those are the options that he gives you. And I feel like what StarCraft comes down to, really on a basic fundamental level, is just good analysis. You know what I mean? Just saying, okay, well, I have option A, B, C. Which one's best? You know what I mean? And analyzing that and picking which one's best based on, how well it responds to the current threat and what kind of a threat you present after you've responded to that threat. I mean, do you if I just warped in Charge Lots Forever and I managed to kill his army, do I then present a threat to him later on? Well, no, probably not, because he's just going to make more siege tanks and get me in a choke, and that's kind of that. So really being able to predict and using forethought and having that sort of understanding of just generally what's going on, I guess. I'm not trying to dig too deep into the specifics here. I want to get a general feel for the game, and I guess that's what I'm trying to promote with these little videos. Hopefully I can get some stuff going on YouTube soon. It's just generally what are good decision-making techniques for StarCraft players. What do you need to know? That sort of stuff. Getting a good in-game feel for it, because I feel like that's what really makes the good StarCraft players. You know what I mean? Like the best StarCraft players, they have all the bells and whistles. They'll do the cool little timings and things will line up, and that's where they pride themselves in, because they're optimizing, because they are that good. But they need to make the good choices off the bat, because if you optimize the ever-loving hell out of whatever, say you optimize at 4-gate, and you've got this 4-gate down, and you know what you're doing with this 4-gate, and you're up against a Terran who's doing 3 racks aggression, and he stomps on you because, well, he's just got better units than you. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, a 4-gate's just not going to hold up that well. And sometimes a super optimized 4-gate will, don't get me wrong. I know the 4-gate's just a powerful Protoss builder, but there's lots of ways. I mean, I can 3-gate robo and easily hold a 4-gate forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and then I just wait till I have enough immortals, and then I push out and I win. And if he's going to do, I watched earlier someone force field me into my own base for a bit and then expand, and I kind of thought that was game, and I got a little panicked, and I pushed, and I lost a bunch of units, and The only reason I won is because he didn't expand, but I mean, even if he does that, I feel like one Warp Prism, just get a Warp Prism out there and start dealing some damage. If you can distract his attention too, you can probably do some stuff, get your units out of your base, or even just use that Warp Prism as an elevator to get out. Knowing your options, that's what this comes down to. The next probably couple of casts I do will all be about knowing your options, being able to make good in-game calls. So I'm particularly kind of gearing these things towards lower league players, like lower than myself. As you can tell, I'm only a gold league player, so I'm obviously not gearing these videos towards someone in, like Diamond or Masters League, because they know these things already. They've got these things down. But for those of you that are in gold and silver kind of level, even in gold level, I'm still working on this. This is very much a work in progress for me as well. Just getting that down, getting a good feel for it. And before I ramble on forever, I will close this cast, because you will die sitting here listening to me. But it was good. It's good. It was fun to play StarCraft. I haven't gotten into it for a while, so if you watch this, feel free to drop me a line or leave me some comments. I'm sure anyone watching this has me on Facebook already. If not, I think you can message people on Twitch, so go ahead and feel free to do that too. Yeah, hopefully I'll have something a little more structured. I just enjoy streaming, so I'm out here streaming. Watch, tune in, if it amuses you. Study while you do this. Huzzah, don't actually pay attention. And yeah, have a good night everybody. Hope you learned something.